happening in the crypto markets because we're stressed. I'm stressed, you're stressed, literally everybody's stressed because things aren't moving at all. And it actually looks like we may potentially be in like this bear market. But I personally think we're in a bear market. That's something that I've talked about before on the channel. And one of the reasons why I don't think that we're in a bear market is because we're in this place where we're getting all of this legislation coming through. We have all of these crypto spot ETFs. We have a lot of interest and we have a lot of money that's coming into Bitcoin and crypto. Now, why is number not going up? Well, number's not going up because number one, it's the end of the year. Number two, people like to take profit. They like to realize gains. They have to do things for their CPAs and whatever that is for tax purposes. But moral of the story, everybody that's in Bitcoin and crypto, especially now with all the institutions coming in, they are going to continue to behave this way. They take profit differently than we do. Like generally when crypto or Bitcoin, when we take profit, we just take profit and we keep it moving. They're taking profit, they're realizing gains, and they're doing it in a way to where it's going to impact their bottom line in a positive manner. And this is good. This is exactly what we need. We need more mature investors. But at the same time, it's going to cause a lot of lulls in the market. And we're talking about seeing lulls in the market. We get, like in Bitcoin and crypto, we're used to these volatile drops, okay? So we get these volatile drops and then we get these volatile pumps, which we love. It's easy for people to make, it's easy for people to make money. But now it's going to be a little bit different, okay? When we talk about it being a little bit different, we're going to see more profit taking in the different quarters. And that's going to be something that we can prepare for and we can kind of look to. And the cool thing about Bitcoin and crypto is the transparency. We're able to check things on chain. We're able to use AI to even do that now, which is amazing. And it's something that we all should be paying attention and using tools to help that. But I digress. So are we in a bear market or bull market? What's going on? People are saying the 4-year cycle is over. I don't necessarily think it's over yet. And I know I'm going to get a lot of pushback on that. But I came across a pretty interesting post today by an ETF analyst, somebody that we use on the channel a lot. I'm going to read to you what it says and talk about some of the stats in relation to BlackRock. Also, I'm finally on vacation. I'm still going to be working. I'm still going to be streaming. But it's beautiful outside, so I just literally woke up. And I'm going to have Hawaii here because, yeah, that's where I am. Thank you so much to Lawrence for the $10 super chat. That went to cover my $9 coffee this morning, but is what it is. I'm very, very grateful. Okay, let's go ahead and take a look at some of the stats over here as far as IBIT goes. So IBIT this year is the only ETF in the 2025 flow leaderboard with a negative return for this year. And this comes from Mr. Eric B. He's an ETF analyst, and we use him a lot on the channel because I like to hear what he has to say, and I like to hear that, I like to see what actual ETF analysts have to say about different things happening with ETFs, primarily because I don't have a traditional financial background. I don't want one, but these guys are familiar with ETFs. They're essentially experts in their field, and it's good to kind of see what their data says, hear their opinions, and then apply it to my own thesis. And then I can give you guys my opinion on different stuff, or you guys are able to take that and do what you want with it. Now, so basically, we know that BlackRock's like a master in investing space. They literally own everything. They are shareholders, and they've got their hands in everything. And there is no way that they would. There's no way that they would have pivoted to Bitcoin and crypto without knowing that they're going to get some really, really nice profits. So, why is the BlackRock Bitcoin spot ETF? Why is it the worst performing ETF this year in 2025? And if I take a look at this little sheet that he posted, the IBIT, it's down, the year-to-date return is negative 9.59%. Negative 5.9%. And it's literally the only one. It's got a bunch of different ETFs, as you guys can see. A bunch of different ETFs. IBIT, that's what it is. Now, he goes on to say that that the takeaway was that it was in 6th place despite the negative return. Boomers putting on a hodl clinic, even took in more than gold, which is up 64%, which is a really good sign. He says, if you can do 25 billion in a bad year, imagine the potential flow in a good year. So what does that mean? So basically, even though IBIT, the BlackRock Bitcoin spot ETF was down, it still pulled in a lot of funds. They're making a lot of money with that. And again, you have to understand that the institutions, they don't really care what these assets are trading at. They care about the volume that they're getting in. They care about they're caring about the fees because that's how they make money. They make money off of the fees. So the fact that they're making money and they're doing incredibly well with a brand new ETF that just launched, they're going to continue to market that. They're going to continue to push it. We're going to continue to see inflows and volume and trading happen with that. However, the unfortunate part about it is that Bitcoin will start trading differently than it has in the past, and that could mean the 4-year cycle is broken despite a Bitcoin mining economics, and that's okay. The reason why that's okay is because we're essentially still kind of early to this. We're able to look at this data, we're able to take our experience in Bitcoin and crypto and apply it to our trading and investing in the future. Now, it's interesting that he brought up boomers, okay? So a lot of people have negative things to say about the older generation, and that's fine, fantastic, that's your guys' business. But these people, they have money, they have capital, and they're smart investors. So it's important to pay attention to their habits as far as investing goes. They're not going to lose money. They have people that are managing their portfolios. They have people that they've been working with a long time. And again, when you're talking about people with a lot of wealth, they've got CPAs, they've got attorneys, they've got financial advisors. They work with different firms to come up with the best scenario for themselves. And it's not just the boomers, it's people like the hedge funds, people with a lot of money. So they're essentially kind of hodling this, taking a little bit of profits, realizing those gains. That's not something we really do in crypto. In crypto, we are known for hodl, hold until zero, which has never been a good thesis for me. There's few assets that I will hold long term. Bitcoin is one of those. But the thesis of holding an altcoin until zero or not taking profit or not realizing gains is kind of crazy to me. But when we're talking about more sophisticated investors, which not saying anything negative about you guys or anyone in crypto in general, but they're going to realize profits. They're actually going to realize profits and realize losses if it's going to impact their bottom line for taxes, because again, that could be potentially be a source of income. If you're able to successfully navigate the tax system the right way and take profit, that's going to impact your bottom line and whatnot, you're going to be doing okay, and that's exactly what they're doing. So, moral of the story is, right now we're still technically in this Bitcoin 4-year cycle until it confirms differently. We're waiting to see how things are going to perform in 2026, and we're also waiting to see, kind of what the next move is. And you have to remember, there's also currently, I want to say, like another 150 spot ETFs, not just Bitcoin, that are waiting to get approved. BlackRock also wants to get a Ethereum staked ETF. They already have a spot one, but they want a staked one. Essentially, that's going to act like dividends. So even though the Bitcoin spot ETF didn't perform, came in the negative year to date, they're still doing incredibly well. In addition to that, they said it was another thing that caught my eye was gold, the comparison to gold to Bitcoin. They said that Eric B said, even though that ibit took in a negative return, it took more in, even though ibit, BlackRock's Bitcoin spot ETF, had a negative return year to date, they took in more than gold as far as inflows go. And gold is up 64%. So I want you to think about that for a little bit and think about that, how it applies to you in your trading and investing strategy. Again, ibit, BlackRock spot Bitcoin ETF had negative returns year to date. But it took in more than gold, the gold ETF, and gold price action is up 64%. Gold is generally an asset people like to use to hedge, especially when we're talking about economic uncertainty, geopolitical uncertainty, all that insanity, okay? So if gold is up 64% price action wise, but BlackRock's Bitcoin spot ETF had a negative return year to date, but it took in more than gold, where do you think people are going to start looking to? Will 2026 be a big year for Bitcoin? Will we hit that $250,000, $200,000 mark? How is that going to impact altcoins? How is that going to impact Bitcoin and crypto traders? So I just want you guys to think about that for a little bit. Thank you so much for watching. I'll have a video for you around 2 p.m. PT, a little bit of a short talking about Ethereum and Solana because there's some drama happening with that. I'm going to do my best to live stream with you guys every single day while I'm here. We're still putting out 3 pieces of content a week per day. Anyway, sending you guys love and light. I got to get my kid down to the beach or the pool or wherever she wants to go. But thank you so much to everyone for showing up, to Lawrence, to Mike. Really, really greatly appreciate the support. And I'm going to go buy Mr. Dale, of course. I'm going to go ahead and buy another $10 coffee because capitalism, right? Bye, babies.